Satsbuy is something that me and my friend Kyle Murphy started a year ago. We didn't have a place for startups in Bitcoin in Austin. I think the way I see it is going forward, if we can do these startup days and invite the people like Maxis, and like Santos and like Doug and Francisco and like all these people who want a chance to promote their Bitcoin startup at South by Southwest, PlebLab wants to give them the opportunity to do that.
So welcome to the dangers of free and open source software, where you'll learn all about the pitfalls and how to overcome them. Free and open software is good. Like, I'm not denying that it's a good thing. It does a lot of good for the world, but it comes with dangers. The first danger I want to talk about is getting co-opted. The example I'm going to give is not a software developer, but a vaccine creator. This is Jonas Salk. And back in 1952, he invented the polio vaccine. He didn't patent it. He wanted it to be free and available to the world, which reminds me of the free and open source movement. It's like, this is information. How can I claim ownership of this? But it didn't work. Like, even though he didn't put a patent on it, his project got co-opted, and now it costs a significant amount of money to get one of these vaccines.
I'm here on behalf of John, the founder and CEO of Zaprite. What I'm here to announce today is V2. Zaprite V2 will be launching over the next week. What we've done now is we've separated the checkouts from the invoices. Checkouts are going to be something that Zaprite will be built around moving forward. This will allow us to have payment links, like Stripe payment links, that can feed various use cases, like invoices, donation pages, storefronts, ticket sales, and that kind of jazz. One thing I want to highlight on V2 is we've added this preview button here. If you're familiar with V1, the preview is always at the bottom of this invoice creation page. Now you can click this horizontal mode preview, and you'll get the whole thing side by side.
This is going to be kind of a fun exploration of Noster. Yeah, the idea is a chat app for Noster. Most of the Noster apps that are out there are focused on the kind of Twitter clone use case. So one of the tough things about this is that Noster is intended as a broadcasting protocol. So things that are private the protocol isn't really built for that. So the emphasis here is on public chat. So we've got NIP38 as a draft. Vishal, who's the author of Noster Console, one of the other Noster clients that has integrated NIP28 for chat channels. And his console has been working on NIP38 for encrypted group chat. Just goes to show that where there's a demand for a type of thing, even if Noster hasn't already been built for it, there's people adding and proposing to add all sorts of cool things. This one called NIP100, so WebRTC signaling over Noster. I think it was SudoZac who did this kind of proof of concept showing how you could use the impervious node, which at that time was kind of this like wrapper on top of an LND node, to do signaling to set up peer-to-peer voice and audio calls.
Today I'm going to be doing a product announcement for BTC Retail X. What you see here, what we're going to explore is the system of a point of sale, as well as some of the back-end retail management, and then what I did for Bitcoin to integrate that functionality into it. Some people will say that a point of sale is just a way to take money at a register. But traditionally in corporate world, point of sale is much broader. It's actually what I would term retail management system. Managing sales, managing invoices. The system that I've created also does delivery, quick serve table management, so cafes, they know where all the food goes to table 12. But I also built it to be hardware agnostic, so it's software, and I can basically put it on any hardware device. This is just an example of the sales, one of the pieces of hardware that we have. This is a register that I've got out back that I'll be demoing the software.
I'm Francisco Chavarria. I'm the CEO of Yopaki, and Carlos Chita, CTO of Yopaki. As of right now, we are the only company focused on building a Bitcoin-only platform.
The number one or number two, depending on the year, entry of Mexico income into Mexico is remittances. Who are these 30 million people that work mostly in the States and send money to their relatives? Well, they work in construction, some in manufacturing, only a tiny percentage in some industries where they could become familiar with the modern financial instruments, be it the fiat financial instruments. So these people, what do they actually do? They end up going to MoneyGram or whatever other services they are, I don't want to say names, and they get ripped 12 to 15% for sending the little money that they can accumulate here back to their families in Mexico. That's something that we want to change. Please enter Yopaki.
The other thing that's really important to highlight, and we'll continue to drill it, is that it's a Bitcoin-only exchange. Now, Mexicans up to today haven't really had that opportunity to know what it's like to have your money safe, where you can just buy it and take it into cold storage because of that gambling aspect of, get rich quick. We're trying to change that. We're announcing Mexico's first Bitcoin block party inspired by Austin Bitcoin Club.
I am Max Sikorsky. I am the founder and CEO of Eden 3D Printer. What really Eden 3D Printer is all about is assisting you and turning your thoughts into things. How can we help you get your thoughts into a physical product and actually use that? There is a full suite for our vertically integrated farms. You can go and request a print. Any file that you would like, any image, feel free to go and upload that right to the website, and we will coordinate with you to get that print done. We have a pretty in-depth studio, actually. So if you have an idea, give us a sketch, and we can go and turn that, again, thought into a thing. So again, Super built this quite a while ago, actually, and it incorporates just that. Find a designer within your local geographical region, or globally as you would like. Upload what you would like to print. Coordinate with the manufacturer, pick a color, any size or scale that you would need, and pay with sats over the Lightning Network for that.
We're here to talk about building a Bitcoin startup. There's some founders here, as you've seen some of the presentations. I know you've talked to most of them. Mm-hmm. What's like the number one advice you can give a Bitcoin startup, just like out the gate?
Non-custodial.
I'm going to have to say, really understand what the customer is trying to achieve and make sure that you're extremely aligned to delivering value along the dimensions that they care about most.
I'm sure everyone, maybe not everyone, but a lot of people here have already learned a lot from these two gentlemen. So right now we're going to focus all of their knowledge in on fundraising. Tell us all you have to know.
You definitely don't know everything when you start. And so if your mind isn't changing as you're building, you're likely not building like within a real reference frame.
Much like central planners, you're going to be wrong all the time. Just because you raise the money, that's not like, all that's fleeting. Any success in any startup, it's fleeting. It's peaks and valleys. There's always a false peak. The work only starts really once you raise, because on one hand, you're also now like on an actual timeline.
So we're building in a bear market right now. I want you to just kind of tell me, like, what's your mindset about a bear market? What's your personal mindset? And then how does it affect the work that you're doing now or the work that you're going to do in the future?
I actually enjoy building in the bear market better than the bull market. There's just way more focus. For instance, at Galoy, before kind of in the bull market, where it's really easy to get a team of engineers just building all this random stuff. Maybe some of it's a pipe dream that might happen in 3 or 4 years. Maybe it's a longer, more focused thing. But typically in a bear market, you got to really, focus. You got to re-get focus on, what is making me revenue today.
Yeah, so I've got some pretty exciting news to share with you guys. So Mutiny is the unstoppable Bitcoin wallet for everyone. And we're a company now. So these are kind of a lot of the high points. There's a lot here. Basically, we want you to be able to use Bitcoin and Lightning like a Bitcoiner, like a cypherpunk. Use this the right way. We have a lot of opinions on what the right way is, but we want to make it a lot easier to do it the right way. I actually got this from Parker Lewis, that Bitcoin are best practices are best practices. And I think we see this maybe not as much in the UX world, but we see this in the world where Bitcoiners are on to something. They know there's a better way to do things. And we're not just sitting around and waiting for it to happen, but in some sense, the world is shifting in our direction. And preload it with Bitcoin. So they click a link, and when that page loads, they have a fully functioning Lightning wallet that is a full node, or not a full node, it's a full Lightning node. And they're ready to send like right away. So like the easiest possible onboarding. But also, when you think about like onboarding friends to Bitcoin, do you tell them to use Wallet of Satoshi, and do you put a friend into like a custodial relationship? You were just explaining about how Bitcoin can't be stopped. You were trying to orange pill them. So but you also don't want to send them down a path of something that's going to be too complex. So yeah, you want low ruggability, but I think this can be a real focus for our UX going forward. Once we nail the Bitcoiner use case, make sure that handoff is really nice.